Hey, it's Tuesday nights with Dr. Bruce. I'm your host, Dr. Bruce. I wrote about best friends a little while ago in a blog, and I think it's always one of those things that are strange why we have to have best friends. It's not just a point of a friend, it's not just a point of a good friend, hey, this person's really close to me. It's what is a best friend. And then it's one of my best friends. I don't know if you use this terminology and so forth, but one of my best friends and I actually did a thing tonight. We at a 55 plus community center. We were teaching some people about stem cells, regenerative medicine, and all that kind of jazz. And Jim Wiley and I, we've done that. Hey, Carly, Jim Wiley and I have done really, really well whenever we've taught in the past. So I'd like to take you back 25 years or so ago when I first meet Jim Wiley. And Jim is very, very intelligent. He is the kind of guy who speaks his mind, and he says things three different times, says the same thing maybe three different times. He'll explain it from one angle, he'll hit another angle, then another, and then another, very much like I just did. And he's good at it, and eventually his message comes across. He is very good at how he builds his words and phrases. He's all that kind of stuff. The problem is that he's a little bit slow if you're watching him. Now, if you really, really want the information that he's giving, and the information is highly technical and complicated, and trust me when I tell you, he knows highly technical and complicated stuff. I still have to run to him lots of times and say, all right, I don't know what the heck's going on with this shoulder. I have a feeling it's a labrum, but I have no idea what's going on. And he'll go in there and he will take me through this entire evaluation and treatment, or procedure at least, on the shoulder. And at the end, he has figured out exactly what it is. We send him to an MRI. The person comes back from the MRI and says, this is exactly what it is. I'll be honest with you, I've never seen him wrong. In the 20 years I've worked with him, not once has he ever been like, no, actually it was, he always gets whatever was wrong correct, however that comes out, right? So it's really interesting to watch him talk in a crowd. He's slow, he's deliberate, and he's extremely technical, extremely intelligent, and yet one of my best friends in the world. He is at times slow enough where he loses the audience simply because he hasn't drugged them along some kind of crazy path. 25 years ago, he invites me, and I have nothing to, hey, Troy, I have nothing to really add to the conversation. We're teaching physical diagnosis. He is explaining all kinds of, we're teaching it to chiropractors, other chiropractors. He's the one that has the orthopedics degree. He's brilliant. And he does this amazing job of, let's break it down. Let me tell you what we're looking for. Here's the action innervation, right? Here's the origin and insertion of the musculature. Here's what the big cushion that's supposed to be between the bones looks like usually. And then he solves the problem, right? But I'm lost. After a while, I'm like, okay, I'm bored. So I remember being the guy that went, wow, this is really potent information. These people need this information. I'm going to dive in front of somehow to make it interesting, right? And so I'm running back and forth at times. I'm cracking jokes. I remember laying at one point in time across the table and looking at a very handsome chiropractor who had a bald head. I don't even know who he was. I still don't. I'm glad that guy, I'm glad he didn't get mad at me. But I remember sitting across this, laying across the table. I've got my arm like this, and I'm looking at him, and then I'm staring at her. And it's his wife, obviously, and she's a beautiful lady. And he's this beautiful man. He's probably 35, 40 years old, right? And at this point in time, I'm in that range myself. And finally, Jim has gone and said, now, if you use the words droning on, it's really impolite and it's not fair, because his message is powerful and it needs to be said, right? But he's doing this thing, and finally we're getting like, ugh. And I remember just sitting there staring at the guy, and I'm looking at her, and staring at the guy, and looking at her. And then I slide down the table. And by this time, the 125, 130 people that are in this room have all geared on me, because I'm on this great big long table that they've set out for us. We're having this great seminar. It's physical diagnosis. You have to have 4 hours of that every year in order to be able to continue being a chiropractor. And Jim finally stops and he goes, what's going on? And I looked at her and I go, did you lose a bet? Is that what happened? Because I don't get this one. I mean, I get you, and then I get him kind of, but I'm trying to, And the funny thing was that because Jim was so tied into a great message, very important, extremely potent, right? And because the moment was right, that actually worked. And from then on, I realized I just need to be the clown. Jim's going to tell them everything they need to know, and I'm going to do crazy stuff that they're going to talk about later, right? That's who we're going to be. Tonight, our roles were a little bit reversed. Jim comes in and he is very caring and he explains those pieces, and I'm the scientist, because when we're usually talking about this is stuff that I spend a lot of time studying. So it was very interesting to come across that moment where I'm like, I need to be up there teaching with him, because what he's saying is potent, important, but I just kind of want to needle the crowd. I kind of want to tease them. You tickle their mind for just a little bit, just so that they'll pay better attention. That's what I really want. So I think when I teach, we do a dinner with the doctors, which is what it was tonight, with Bennett. Bennett just does his thing on his own, but he's so different from me. He's so caring and pays so much attention to them. He's very different, right? Jim and I have way too many similarities, so I really felt like I need to be up there together with him. But I have to say this though: how many people do you know that you could go up to after doing a dinner with the doc, having written? I wrote the PowerPoint presentation that we loosely follow when we do these things. How many people do you know that you could go up to and you could say, okay, here's where you did it right and here's where you did it wrong. This is what I want, this is what I, and they absolutely go, okay, that's great. No, okay, I get it. All right, so on this slide, then what's that? Okay, well then how do you like to do this one? How many friends do you have that are that good, that close, that tight to you, wouldn't take offense and would just go, yeah, okay, great. How do we do it better? Well, I have at least one in Jim Wiley. Now, I don't bring it to him that way, and if he watches this, great. If he doesn't, great. But I absolutely love this man. He's such a potent guy that honestly, he could speak one word in three, and he would be just as potent. I think that's why we work well together. I could speak one word in three, but I speak it a different way. In the meantime, while he's talking, though, I have the tendency to be sniffing some lady's hair and saying, I'm not really, is this real? I'm not sure if this is real. The curls look good, but is this your hair? I'm that guy. I get to do that kind of stuff. And because the situation is the way it is, it works, and it works well for us. I just have to say, it was actually fun to do a show with him again tonight. For me, those are all shows. They're all entertainment. They're all joy, love, and laughter. Basically, the people who come in, they come in going, all right, very few of them are on the fence. There's two types that always show up: the scientists and the what's in it for me's. Those are the two types that always show up. And my scientists, those are the only ones that are riding the fence. Do you really know enough about what you're talking about, right? Do you know enough about the subject for me to say, okay, all right, I'm going to have you take a good look at me, right? Because that's all it comes down to. Hey, come in and see us. That's all it comes down to. And we had a fair number of those that were willing to come do that. And it was actually a really neat thing tonight. I really enjoyed it. But I have to say, as far as it goes, I don't know if I have that many friends in my life ever, in my whole life, where I could bring to them, hey, let's do this, I want this way, I want that way. And they're so potent in their own personalities and abilities that they're able to just go, sure, well, let's do it. Both of us just really want to get our patients all better. That's the whole point to that entire conversation that we have there. So in the middle, I walk up, you have to tell you what happened. In the middle, he intros, right, and does the first 10, 15 minutes. I do about 15 minutes in the middle. And I walk up to Jeremiah. Jeremiah's brilliant. He's our marketer. And I walked up, and he's sitting there going like this as I walked back. And I'm like, oh, what do you think? What's going on? It was good. We talked about some cool stuff. I know it was important, and that's what's going on in my head. And I said, what do you think? And he's like, yeah, you can go. And I went, I can go? Okay. Jeremiah is a close enough friend where I just left. I just said, okay, all right, there's lots of slides left, but I'll just go. And he just wanted to try out the dynamic. Jim is so good that after 15 minutes or whatever that I did, I just walked away. At the end, they said it was really the conversation after they finished with whatever information they were presenting that really mattered, which is often the case. no one's really going to be all that swayed by the science. And that's just it, isn't it? No one cares how you do something or what you're doing. In a lot of ways, they kind of do, but it just opens the conversation. But they care why you do it. And in this case, it was a really interesting thing to go, okay, that's it. I'm done. Goodbye. So I just left. And they fixed it from there. Really proud of them. All I can say is that we really do need best friends. And when you have best friends where you can just walk out in the middle of something like that and go, "What, you want to try this? Okay, I'll try this. I'm totally willing to do it." And Jim just crushed it. You know, he did a great job. Unbelievable. Very grateful to Nancy Bagley, who got us in to talk to this 55+ community. Very grateful to Chick-fil-A, by the way. Chick-fil-A has a salad. We provide food, by the way. It's one of the ways you get people to come in, right? This is not expensive food. You're talking Chick-fil-A, right? But the grilled chicken, and then they have a superfood salad that is, I'm guessing, some kind of kale. It's chopped. It's very green, deep green, with cherries and some kind of really neat sauce on it. I'm going to tell you what, the food was actually really healthy. Chick-fil-A, I don't know. The great fruit salad, all kinds of fruits in it. This superfood salad, a regular salad, grilled chicken, then of course we had some of their chicken tenders too, and their sauces, whatever that was. I have to tell you, it was actually really, really good. Healthy. I don't think healthy when I think Chick-fil-A, but anyway, I got to tell you, they did a really good job. And Bennett Wiley, is this about me? It's always about you, buddy. It's always been about you. Another one of my best friends. Bennett's one of those people where I could screw up three-quarters of what I do, and he's another Dr. Wiley, right? He would just come right in on top of it and go, yeah. So I don't know if you've ever done improv, but I have. And the point of improv is yes and. Bennett Wiley's one of the best yes ands in my entire life. So I just got to tell you. Last thing, it's going incredibly well right now at Bridge Integrative Medicine. We're doing extraordinarily well. And I just want to say, as far as friends go, thank you. Thank you for being our friends. Thank you for referring in your friends and family, your best friends. We're getting referrals from everyone right now, and it's been unbelievable. I don't know how to say thanks enough. I just can't. The way we say thanks enough is that we wind up being able to help everyone, you know. You know what gets people excited the most when we do shows? And I have to tell you this. We do the dinners with the docs. When I let them know that they have to work. It's really interesting because you get people that are going, yes, and it's really great. And then the cytokines come in and all these exosomes are released and there's a scaffold built and the body does with the thing with the dust up and it makes the thing and you grow. And they kind of follow pieces, right? That they don't dive into it. They follow pieces. But what's really impressive is at the end when I let them know, but you're going to work with us. You're going to follow Dr. Wiley, another one, Jakes, our director of rehab. You're going to do exactly what he wants you to do to get to where you can throw a ball again or ski again, ride a bike again, hike, whatever it is that you want to physically do. Bennett's going to draw out of you why you want to get your knee pain gone, and then we're going to fix it together. So I got to tell you, best friends, this was amazing. It was amazing to be able to do something again with Jim. It's been wonderful to have friends that are this tight-knit that even when I just go, I'm leaving, okay, and I left. I don't know if I was even right. I really don't. And to have nobody judge it, it's like, oh, cool, he's gone. Hey, so here's what we're going to do. Anyway, I hope you have people like that in your life. And oh, Jim's here. He says he ate some. I'm telling you what, I took all the calories away from the cookies tonight. That's what I told everyone. There were they make great cookies, guys. If you don't know that, Chick-fil-A does, right? Terrible soft serve, by the way. Stop making soft serve. Just stop. It doesn't work. Go to Dairy Queen, learn how they do it, come back and try to do it there at your place, okay? Chick-fil-A, if you're listening to me, fantastic salad. Why would you be listening to me? I really want to know that, all right? But if you are listening to me, fantastic salad, both of them. Seriously, what a brilliant idea. Fruit salads was great. Both your lettuce salads or whatever that superfood thing. Grilled chicken, you nailed it. It was tender. It was perfect. Had a nice little grill on it. I don't eat the other stuff, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, it was okay. But stop making soft serve. Okay, just don't. Go to Dairy Queen, learn how they do it, and bring that machine back. Okay, you're going to need to do that because your soft serve was terrible. I tried it once. It might be good now, I guess, because I tried it once and went, wow, they're really bad at this. It's like crystallized and grainy. I don't know. Anyway, But I have to say, thanks, Jim. Thanks, yeah, publicly, thanks. And it's great to work with friends. It's great to work with a tight knit family. It's great when it's going wrong, but I just want to celebrate this one when it's going really, really right. Having people that are this strong and this capable around you, it makes you a better person in every way that you could possibly be one. So I'll try. And I won't see you next Tuesday, but I'll see you the one after that. And in the meantime, be an example of what's possible.